Hello guys, it's Ben here, back with another video for you, and this is my review of yesterday's Premier League game as Spurs returned from the international break to unfortunately come with a frustrating and disappointing loss at home 2-1 against Aston Villa in a game that highlighted a lot about the players, about the manager, about the state of the squad, about what needs to be looked ahead for the rest of the season. So let's not waste any time, we'll dive right in and pick apart what happened and where we go from here. First into the lineup, which probably should have been a foreshadowing of what was to come, because the lineup was changed pretty much at the last minute as Christian Romero was injured, picked up a knock during the warm-up, and had to be replaced by Kevin Danso, who partnered Mickey van der Ven at centre-half, with Vicario, Pedro Porro and Jed Spence as the goalkeeper and defence. The middle three consisted of Bentancur, Paulinho and Xavi Simons, and the forward line, I guess you could say, was Tell through the middle, Odebert on the left, Kudus on the right. The game started off brilliantly. We work a corner, recycle it, Kudus floats a beautiful cross in, Van der Ven heads it back across goal, Bentancur volleys it home to make it 1-0 within 5 minutes. Brilliant start, brilliantly executed goal. In the first half, generally speaking, things look pretty good. Kudus, as he's done all season, the creator of everything. We had another couple good half chances, and most of that first half was, pretty good going. After a while, the game sort of just started to fizzle down, and then out of the blue, we just leave Villa too much space to ping the ball around in the midfield. It falls to Morgan Rogers, who is given way too much time. It's a brilliant shot from Rogers. I'm certainly not going to deny that. It's a brilliant hit from him. In my opinion, it's one of those hits the keepers don't save. So I lay the blame at not closing him down, because you shouldn't have had the time and room to hit that shot in the first place. But brilliant hit and brilliant goal to make it 1-1. So that's how it went at half time. Second half came out, again, with a pretty good intent, but just a very, very lack of meaningful opportunities. There seemed to be, what really was eye-opening was the heavy over-reliance on Kudus to create something, and the lack of, I don't know if it's belief from the other players in him, but Xavi Simons was very, very off the ball, very not really getting stuck into the game. Second half in particular, with it's the teammates don't have confidence in him yet. I don't really know, but it just seemed very, very bizarre. And then that's pretty much how the whole second half followed. Just a lack of, urgency, a lack of, as I said, just cohesion, trying to, it just seems to be a lot of, cross-field diagonal passing, and, which is good if you have a player out there and then you flood the box, but too many times there was nobody there to, receive it whenever, we were in the position to have an attacking opportunity. And then Villa get the second goal and almost a carbon copy of the first. Again, they're given too much room in the middle of the pitch. Bunde's allowed to just get his shot away, and it goes in the bottom corner. Now, again, you might blame Vicario, but he looked completely onside. There was at least one defender blocking and maybe two. So I don't. It's one of. I don't think he's completely to blame for that, but again, I would put it down to why was Bundu given that much room in the first place to get the shot off. So, but you guys let me know what your opinion is on that. And really, the minute it went 2-1, it just never looked like getting back into the game at all. And that was how it ended, frustratingly. So, yeah. Here's the main thing to take. It's only the second loss we've had, so far under Thomas Frank. So, it's not, the apocalypse. And people shouldn't be treating it as such, because it's, and I do go back to, this is the squad who finished 17th last season, It's not going to click into place overnight. We've seen a lot of good so far. We've seen some hiccups as well. and it's going to be a bag full of rebels, for certainly the first half of this season at least, while, Thomas Frank tries to get his footing and tries to, he's still learning himself, about, the players themselves, about how to, manage situations in games, and, we've seen him manage them brilliantly. You look at Man City away, you look at Leeds way before the international break, he's managed them brilliantly. Then you've seen other games where he's not maybe done it. Bournemouth at home earlier this season, Wolves at home, and, today as well. So, you can, say there are areas that we need to improve, and the manager needs to improve without going overboard and saying that everything's in meltdown, so, they don't, so it's important to keep that perspective in place. So there is definitely a Seville issue with. We seem to have a very good first 11, but once that goes beyond that point, there is a severe lack of depth in certain positions. In my opinion, I think Jed Spencer's a brilliant fullback, but it's clearly his favourite position's on the right. I think it's very obvious the difference in the team when Destiny Doggy's there and when he's not. Obviously, Luis Romero is not good for us, and that's not a knock on Dansu. I think but again, you can see the difference. Again, I don't think you can play Paulinho and Bentancur. Not in games at home. When you're away from home, like we've seen it this season, if you have those two in the middle with them more advanced forward, it works. When you have less of the ball. When you're at home, when you are on the front foot, supposedly, and need to be on the front foot and attack, it's you have one or the other. In my opinion, it doesn't work. This is just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think as well. But for me, it just doesn't click together. And the severe lack of obviously with the lack of striker injuries has been horrendous. Although Kolo Muani, all of a sudden did finally get his first minutes on the pitch, so hopefully he starts to get more minutes on the pitch and build up his fitness and confidence, and maybe that's an area that can be hopefully sorted out, and hopefully by the time Solanke comes back, he'll be fit. Koulibaly will be firing. We can only hope on that front. So, as I say, it's one that just we need to brush off and dust off, pick ourselves up and carry on. We move on to Wednesday night now, where we'll get back to action in the Champions League away at Monaco. Third game of that, with 4 points from 2. We need to get another good result out there to keep our good start in Europe going. And then we'll travel away Sunday for the Premier League away to Everton. So, who at their new ground are flying along very well. So, again, it's going to be a challenge, but we know they've got the capability of doing it. They need to be up to the challenge, and I can only hope they are. Anyway, what did you guys make of it all? What areas do you think need most improving on? Leave all your thoughts as ever down in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Thank you for watching as ever, guys. I will see you soon, and as always, come on you Spurs.